What's going on YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and it's time for our 2017-18 preview and predictions for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And let's get right to it. Let's take a look at last season's record. This team was 47-35. I believe they were the 6th seed in the West. Didn't do too good in the playoffs. I actually think I had them getting to the conference finals, but that did not happen at all. So yeah, Thunder last year 47-35. How about the leading scorer, rebounder, and leader in assists? That's what we're doing on each of these videos. Russell Westbrook, of course, points per game, 31.6. He was up from the previous year, the year before. Kevin Durant, 28.2. He really puts his team on his back, and it was, what a season he had. He led the team in rebounds as well at 10.7, a point guard leading the team in rebounds. He did it all. Averaged a triple-double, won the MVP. How about assists? 10.4 assists per game. He led the team there as well. So you can see he comfortably averaged a triple-double last season. Will it continue this year? I don't think so, not with the new players coming in. How about the players they lose, though? First, we'll go to that. Victor Oladipo, he is gone, part of that trade for Paul George. He is off to the Indiana Pacers. Not a huge loss. You definitely are going to gain some with Paul George in that trade. How about Domantas Sabonis? He's also off to the Pacers. I don't think this is a big loss for them either. Didn't play a ton last season. Good young prospect, but as far as this season goes, I don't think that's a big deal at all. Enes Kanter, part of the trade for Carmelo. He is off to the Knicks. They will miss him. His inside game, they're definitely going to miss that a little bit, but I think they will be okay. And then, let's see, who else did they lose? Doug McDermott. He also goes to the Knicks, part of that Carmelo Anthony trade. Again, a guy that, stretches the floor for you. I think they'll miss his shooting. I think he would have went really well with this team, but not a huge loss. And then Taj Gibson, you lose his rebounding, his shot blocking, defense, stuff like that. But as far as the scoring goes, not a huge deal. But they're going to have plenty of scores, so that they really could have used a guy like Taj Gibson. He is off to Minnesota. How about the additions coming in? Of course, Paul George, huge pickup. He is really just getting better and better each year. I think he's going to be on the level of LeBron James very soon, or at least close to it. So they get him, and then obviously Carmelo Anthony as well coming over. How is it going to work with these players? These three superstars. Carmelo's never really played with, or Paul George really has never played with anybody to the caliber of what they're going to be playing with. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Raymond Felton, a good, veteran point guard to come in, give Russell Westbrook a break here and there. I think that's a pretty good pickup for him. He's had some times in his career where he was very good. We'll see if that plays out this year. All right, Patrick Patterson. That's the size I guess they bring in when you lose Kanter and some of those other guys. A good versatile player. I think he will go very good with this team. May wind up playing some center if they go small. And Isaiah Cannon, don't really expect him to play much, especially with Raymond Felton coming over as well. But we'll go ahead and throw him on here and see. You never know what he might do. So here's the projected depth chart. Russell Westbrook and Raymond Felton there at point guard. Andre Robertson. That's a he fits very well with this team. They need a guy that's just a real good defender. Don't really need scoring because you have Carmelo, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. So I think he's going to do very well with this team. Paul George, you have Kyle Singler coming off the bench. Carmelo going to move to the 4 with Patrick Patterson as well. Jeremy Grant, a good young player. Nick Collison, a veteran. I think they're going to be pretty good. And then Steven Adams there at center. How about the projected wins? ESPN's RPM at 49.5. Vegas, the over-under is 52.5. And Bleacher Report has them at 51 wins. So a lot of these places are not really buying in. I think this team's going to be a lot better, honestly. I think it might take them a little time to get used to playing together. But I think they're going to be very good. One of the best teams in the NBA. Because look how good they were last year, and you bring in Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. Again, how are they going to play together? How are they going to play defensively? That's going to be, a big key. But I think it's going to work out personally. So I've got them at 59-23. So I have a much improved from last season. Again, I think when you look at how good Russell Westbrook was last year, this year he doesn't even have to be that good. He can really be more of a facilitator, which he's done a much better job of recently in his career. You'll have Roberson over there to just play defense, and he can lock down the best player on the other team. Paul George is an excellent defender. To me, Paul George is the guy that they're going to go to when they need a bucket. Really, you could go to him or Russell Westbrook. And Carmelo Anthony, I think he's going to be more of just kind of a stretch four, kind of like Kevin Love going to the Cavs. I see Carmelo just standing out there and shooting threes. That's kind of how I think it's going to work, because he's not going to have the ball in his hands much. So it will be interesting. And again, I think it's going to take some time for them to get it all together. But I think this team's going to be very, very good. I think they will be a real threat to the Warriors in the West. And there are several good teams now. You're looking at the Thunder. You're looking at the Rockets, the Spurs, of course, the Timberwolves, who look much better. It's not going to be as easy this year for the Warriors. That's why I had their win total down a little bit. But we'll see who I have actually coming out of the West, going to the NBA Finals, and then winning the NBA Finals when we get to our playoff predictions here in a couple of weeks, or maybe less than that. Season will be here before you know it. So there you go. That's my predictions for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Go ahead and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this team. Always like hearing from all of you. Do you think it's going to work out or not, bringing in all these players? But that's it for this video. Tomorrow we'll have 5 new NBA previews, so make sure you come back and check it out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.